Hello and welcome back. Give me a second here to just get the shoes off. What a beautiful day. Busy all day. But the mind is not in the way today. Cheesy. The mind isn't in the way at all today. I'm not sure how it is in your experience, but for me the mind is very busy and tends to be very critical and to always look at things through the lens of is that am I like let's take a deeper look, make sure that whatever it is that the mind is focusing on, it tends to take itself back and to look take itself back, and it tends to at a certain point it wants to analyze everything that it's been thinking of from a step back and see if there's something missing or whatever. It just likes to see the bigger picture, and it's never truly satisfied. It always wants to go a bit deeper before it moves on anything, or it just does it. I shouldn't even say before it moves on anything. It just tends to be a very busy, analytical, always looking and criticizing and analyzing, which can be very tiring. A person can feel very exhausted, overwhelmed, and in my experience, it makes you feel that you don't want to be around too much people. A lot of people you'll meet, or I meet, a lot of the conversations that I have and a lot of the things that people say, the mind has already been saying it to me for a while, and it can feel very the instinct feeling can be I know, and whatever I say or do comes through that I know feeling. So it's a touchy time. It's a very interactions with other people for me sometimes can be pretty difficult. And I find that's mostly to do with if they follow along the typical what you would imagine you should say in society, and the typical when you put on your face, your persona for the world, when people are mainly in that role, the mind has analyzed that role so much that when it just sees it, it tends to be triggered immediately. Now, if this is something that you experience in your life, let me know in the comments below. I've also heard that some people have no dialogue in their mind at all. And for myself, this is something that's very difficult for me to grasp. Is it something that a person just thinks, like, you get a feeling about a decision and then you just move on it? I could see that being a thing. But without the dialogue, it seems difficult to imagine. So there's different ways of being, different ways of experiencing the earth, a human experience. And it's not overwhelming for everybody. I can be, I'm sure, at certain times, but is it for you? Is it not for you? Do you find oftentimes that for you your experience is just nice, nothing interfering? Where like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, my mind tends to criticize and want to always look more into, which is why for me, I've spent a lot of time learning to recognize just, uh, I was going to say wordlessness in the mind. Not only wordlessness, but just the experience of no thought. What is that like? Now that I've recognized it, it's helped me enormously in my life, realizing it's always been there, just I've always focused on the mind. Attention went to the thinking and the words. So what is it like for you? So today, the sun is out, quite quite strong. I have a hoodie on. I probably don't even need it, really. I haven't been getting a lot of sun exposure the last month or so, if not a little bit more. I tend to get very tanned early on, and then the skin tends to itch a lot by the time I get this time of the year. And I found out last season that it was a thing. It's a thing that if you spend too much time in the sun, as your skin starts to heal, it'll get very itchy. It used to keep me up at night. So having a hoodie on seems natural right now. I've never had that issue with my head, but I spent a lot of time this summer with a hood or a hat, rim hats, a lot of time fishing. I hope your day is going well. I hope the challenges that you're facing in your life today resolve quickly and in a manner that leaves you feeling fulfilled, as though the whole thing has been successful for you, for the people involved in your life. I wish that for you right now. So I find listening to sounds for me to be one of the more, one of the easier ways, the way that I found I can tap into a peacefulness, wordless experience, thoughtless experience within. The sounds tend to fill what my brain is looking for, a type of activity. It tends to always want to have something as its attention, and if I give it sounds, then I notice the experience within the body feels much more peaceful, more calm, much more pleasant. But sometimes there's too much going on in the world to just let that happen, to just do that. And even 5 minutes of that can feel a chore. And the strange thing is once we do it, we're extremely grateful for having tried and allowed ourselves, give ourselves permission to just to do that and to feel the experience of that. For over 9 years since I had my initial awakening experience. I don't know what to call it. I call it a spiritual awakening because that's what other people call it, and it seems to describe what it was. 9 years, and I've spent the vast majority of that learning to recognize that state of being where the thoughtless awareness. Simply put, like you read in the books that people have talked about, spiritual, religious texts, thoughtless awareness. I've heard that so many times. And I remember for years, if I would stop the thoughts, almost as though more thoughts came in. And a part of me was never really satisfied with the doing of letting go, with feels like trying to listen to allow relaxation. So it took me a long time to just get over that feeling of, is it right? Is it wrong? Am I doing the right thing? Should I be doing something different? You know, when you first start these spiritual exercises, a lot of times you don't know if you're doing the right thing, and the only way to know is to go through the process and see what happened. Sometimes that can take years. So for me, it was the right thing, for sure, to just allow the listening. And now the listening, it doesn't feel like a doing anymore. It's just a, oh yeah, it's noisy in the head, and the mind does it. A bit of an automaticness. Not as though I don't need to do it. I need to still notice. But once I notice the overwhelming feeling, the pattern has been made so many times that I immediately know what to do. I don't question if it's the right thing anymore. I'm not worried about, you know, too much of this, too much of that, too much tension in the body, not enough relaxation. You know, it's more just recognizing overwhelmingness and just. So for me, it took a while, and it comes in time. If you're on that part of your journey where you're allowing more peace to be within your experience in the world, it is possible. It's definitely possible. And I'll leave you with that. So wherever you are around the world, whatever time it is that you're watching this video, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Wherever you are. Peace.